Hey, it's Bill DeWeese here from voice-over-training.org. And as voice talent, we often receive scripts for projects in which we are not real subject matter experts. I mean, let's face it, part of our job is pretending that we know stuff that we really don't know. It's to sound intelligent when we're really not necessarily intelligent on the subject matter before. So how do we go about doing that so that we can make the client happy, that we can put out a good product, and hopefully continue to get work from this client, not sounding like we don't know what we're doing? Well, I've got 4 steps for you that will hopefully at least help you get closer to that point. And today I'm working on a project that's for it's a math project, and I assume this is for some sort of advanced, maybe graduate work, like a supplement to a textbook, that kind of thing. Now, understand, I'm the kid that struggled with math all through school. I'm the kid who, when I got to college, had to go back and take the foundational math class because I didn't do well enough on my ACTs to be able to go right into college level math. And even then, I struggled. So here I am working on this. I believe is like my 4th installment of a project for this client. So they're happy with the work so far. So apparently I'm doing a pretty good job in fooling people and sounding like I know what I'm talking about. So the question becomes, how do you do that? Well, let me give you the 4 things that I do that help me to deal with difficult scripts in which I am not a subject matter expert. First is this: there are almost always keywords and terms that come up within any specific subject area. And if you blow it on those words, you blow your whole cover. People know you really don't know what you're talking about. So on any unfamiliar words, make sure that you look up at least the pronunciation, if not also the definition, so you know what you're actually talking about, which is also always helpful when you have a better understanding of the content. The way I do that, I always keep open in my web browser 2 resources for pronunciations and for definitions. One is dictionary.com. Dictionary.com is a great resource, and I find most pronunciations that I need, I can find in Dictionary.com. What I like about Dictionary.com is it will actually, much like in Merriam-Webster, m-w.com, which is another resource, it will actually speak that word for you. Somebody got the voiceover gig of being able to voice all the words in the dictionary. What a great job. So that's a great way to do it. Also, another resource that I use very extensively is howjustsay.com. How, the letter J, say, S-A-Y.com. And it is a very extensive list of pronunciations. It will not give you definitions, but I found it particularly good in finding terminology that relates to medical narration and pharmacology type narrations. And it's also good with a lot of foreign type words. So what I have done here is I've brought up the script that I'm working on, and I'm going to attempt to sound like I'm knowledgeable. First of all, researching words that I'm not familiar with. There are several here. One is Fourier. Fourier integrals. Fourier is the name of a gentleman, apparently, who did some significant work in the field of mathematics, as well as there's a Laplace transform. There's also there's a French name, the D'Alembert solution. So I've looked those up already, so I know what their correct pronunciation is. That's number 1. Number 2 is one-to-one communication. You've got to imagine in your mind that you're only talking to one person so that you sound like you're communicating on a one-to-one personal level. You don't want to sound stiff and nervous and like you're announcing to people. You want this to be as conversational and comfortable as possible. Number 3, very much related to that, is just relax. Take a deep breath, relax, smooth and steady. The tendency is when we get to content that we're not familiar with is to speed up to get through it. It's kind of an unconscious thing that happens. So we want to relax, be smooth and steady. And number 4, use pauses. When you have commas and parentheses, whenever you have a chance to pause. It helps you because you can kind of get your wits about you before you take on that next phrase or that next sentence, and it allows the person who's listening to absorb the material as you go. So here's a paragraph from this math narration that I'm working on, in which I will integrate the 4 steps that I just told you. The wave equation is usually solved subject to initial and boundary conditions, defined either on a bounded interval, the entire line, or a half line x greater than equal to 0. For a bounded interval 0 to L, Separation of variables and Fourier series methods are often used. On an unbounded interval, we use separation of variables and Fourier integrals, or perhaps a Fourier or Laplace transform. Now, I made a mistake. It should be or Laplace transform, so I'll just go back. Or perhaps a Fourier or Laplace transform. On the real line, we may also make use of characteristics and D'Alembert's solution, including a double integral term, evaluated over the characteristic triangle, when the wave equation has a forcing term. So, okay, made a couple mistakes, but no problem. I just do a few quick pickups, and that's a nice chunk of mathematical text, which is not that easy. For me, it might be for you. You might know this stuff. I don't. So the 4 steps again to dealing with copy that you're not familiar with. Research keywords and terms for pronunciation and for meaning. Number 2, talk as if you're talking one-to-one. Imagine the person that you're communicating this to. This will help you sound more relaxed and conversational. Number 3 is relax. Purposefully relax. Be smooth and steady. Don't allow yourself to speed up on phrases and words and sentences that you're not familiar with just to get through them. And number 4, use pauses when you have periods and commas and parentheses. Take a breath and just pause and allow that content to sink in to you and to the person who's listening. And again, hopefully these steps will help you deal with unfamiliar content when you're voicing over projects in which you would like to get repeat work. But again, it's not necessarily your area of expertise or area of comfort. Good luck to you. Wish you all the best in your voiceover work and in your voiceover business, and I will talk to you soon.